Once upon a time, there existed a captivating tale of a young girl who discovered a tiny tiger amidst the depths of the forest. The little cub, filled with sorrow, emitted heart-rending cries as it yearned for its beloved mother. People who do not have feelings past near injured wild animals and do not help them, especially those newborn animals that find themselves alone in the street or in the forest. Marina loves to wander in the woods. This 5-year-old girl grew up in nature, so she loves wildlife. Every day, Marina goes to the forest to collect mushrooms and wild fruits, then runs there among the trees and pick flowers, and in the evening, she returns home. But on the weekends, she spends her day outside the house alone or with her grandmother who accompanies her sometimes. The girl loves animals very much and helps them, and she totally rejects animals being hurt in front of her eyes. One day, while Marina was wandering through the woods, she stumbled upon a little tiger that was newborn alone. The girl noticed that the little animal is very tired and needs food, and she takes it home to help him. Marina lives in a small country house with her grandmother, Alina Ivanovna, who's an orphan. The children's parents had a traffic accident and both died. Well, Marina, who was then 2 years old, was miraculously saved, and she was taken to the hospital, and when she recovered, the grandmother took her to live with her. When Marina took the little tiger in her hands, she immediately entered her grandmother's room and told her that she'd brought her a surprise. But the grandmother panicked when she saw the animal and asked her granddaughter to immediately return it to the place where she found it, because it was dangerous. Marina was very disappointed and went out of her grandmother's room to return the little tiger. Meanwhile, the grandmother noticed that her granddaughter was sad, and since she was always keen to make her happy because she was an orphan, the grandmother ran out of Marina and told her that she would allow her to keep the animal. But she releases him and he grows up and is able to take care of himself. Meanwhile, the girl felt very happy and put the tiger on the ground and ran towards her grandmother and then embraced her and kept kissing her because she allowed the little tiger to stay with her. Grandma was not happy with the little tiger in her home at first, but over time she noticed that it was cute and a fun animal, and it made her granddaughter happy, which made her happy too, love him, and get used to being in the house. Little Tiger was calm and peaceful and had been playing with Marina the whole time. A strong friendship developed between them, so they began to eat with each other and sleep in the same room and go out for wandering in the garden of the house. Grandmother Alina Ivanovna was only 46 years old while her granddaughter was 5 years old. She separated from her husband because they did not get along. The woman was very beautiful, which made some believe that she was Marina's mother. Although most of the men in the village were trying to get close to her, she was focused on taking care of her granddaughter because she did not want to distract her thoughts and let her focus on her studies only. After 4 months of the presence of the tiger in the house, the grandmother noticed that her granddaughter became much attached to him because the tigers become huge, and it must be returned to the forest in order to live there. Alina Ivanovna tried to keep that tiger for as long as possible with her granddaughter because she considered it a friend, but as days went by, neighbors discovered that she had a tiger in her home where she came when a group of women asked her to release the tiger because it's dangerous. The grandmother decided to release the tiger and told her granddaughter. The poor tiger realized that he was leaving the house, showing great sadness and not eating that night. He stayed lying near Marina and didn't sleep the whole night. In the morning, the grandmother got up and dragged the tiger by the chain to his neck and dragged him and her granddaughter into the forest. When they reached the place where Marina first found the tiger, they left it there. But suddenly, a huge tiger appeared and started approaching them. The grandmother and her granddaughter retreated to the back, frightened, and remained waiting for that tiger to attack them, but turned towards the little tiger and began to caress them, while the little animal lay on her lap and began to lick it. The grandmother and her granddaughter realized that the tigress was the mother of the little tiger they kept in the house, and they were overjoyed. When the little animal found its mother, the grandmother and her granddaughter returned home, and after days, Marina missed her friend, the little tiger, and she went to the forest to meet him. When Marina met the little animals, she ran towards him and kept cuddling and playing with them while the tigress was watching them and decided not to approach them. So the little girl would not feel afraid. The girl spent the whole day with the tiger and came home at nightfall. There she found the grandmother waiting for her and was worried about her, although the grandmother had warned her not to go back to the woods again because this might threaten her life. She insisted on going to meet her friend, and she even brought him home with her and gave him food, and Marina was not only feeding the tiger, but she sometimes asked her grandmother to buy her a piece of meat and give it to his mother. The tigress was very grateful to the girl and her grandmother because they saved her little boy from death, and they continued to accompany him and take care of him even after they found him a week past, and the little tiger and its mother did not come to the place where Marina used to meet them. Then the little girl thought that they might have left for another forest to start a life there. One day, while the grandmother was returning from the market with Marina, she found a man parked in front of her door and waiting for her there. The man claimed that he had an affair with Marina's mother and that he was her true father. The grandmother was shocked and asked that man to leave her house immediately, or she'd call the police. Then she grabbed her granddaughter by the hand and asked her not to listen to what the man was saying and entered her house. Within moments, a knock reverberated through the grandmother's door, and as she opened it, a man stormed in, wielding a rifle. In a swift motion, he dropped the weapon to the floor, forcefully seized Marina, and forcefully dragged her away from the safety of the house. Alina Ivanovna, the grandmother, fought valiantly to protect her granddaughter and repel the intruder, but her efforts proved futile. When she attempted to scream, the man threatened to harm Marina and make a swift escape. Paralyzed with fear, the grandmother stood silently, witnessing the man force Marina into his car. As he shut the door and entered the vehicle, an unexpected attack unfolded. A tiger pounced on the man, sending him crashing to the ground before mercilessly devouring him. Seizing the opportunity, the grandmother rushed to the car, pulled her granddaughter to safety, and promptly dialed emergency services. Shortly thereafter, a police officer arrived on the scene, discovering the assailant soaked in his own blood, the result of the tiger's ferocious assault. As the rescued tiger's mother, Marina's actions had brought about a dramatic turn of events. An ambulance was summoned immediately, and the man was swiftly transported to the hospital and subsequently imprisoned. The police officer offered constant reassurance to Alina Ivanovna and her granddaughter, providing them with his phone number and urging them to reach out if they ever faced any future troubles. Little did they know, this man was not Marina's actual father, but rather a deceitful individual who kidnapped children for ransom. Despite the deception, the police officer continued to visit Alina Ivanovna and her granddaughter, fostering a bond with Marina. Eventually, they fell deeply in love, leading to a swift marriage. The grandmother and her granddaughter then moved into the police officer's home, fulfilling a lifelong dream and serving as a testament to the power of love and connection in our individual love stories.